Kim Kardashian shades Kanye West in new interview. We got to talk about this, but before we get into it, hello, my name is Sebastian and I spill pop culture tea videos every single day. So if you're looking for a new messy best friend, you have found me. You guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is the first time you're ever laying your eyes on me, I am your new messy best friend. I spill pop culture tea from my very sparkly closet. I have a PhD in tea, as you guys can see here, and I'm just here to keep you company, okay, girl? I just want you to lay back, get comfortable, put that pillow over your tummy, get those hot Cheetos, and dip them in cream cheese or the Doritos or maybe some pumpkin spice flavored things from Trader Joe's. I don't know really what you're into, girl. Grocery store sushi. That shit is amazing, girl. But make sure you add some soy sauce, because sometimes, bitch, that does not taste that good. But with soy sauce, girl, it tastes amazing. Anyways, oh, and you know what I started loving? The ginger. That's right, girl. I've always been this person who puts the ginger to the side, but now I'm just like, okay, ginger. Anyways, girl, listen. So, yeah, just subscribe if you can. That would really help me out. Okay, best friends. So, Kim Kardashian is on the cover of Vogue. That's right, girl. She is in the cover of the October edition of French Vogue. And in here, she made a comment where a lot of people believe that she is shading Kanye. So, some of the things that she says: when I turned 40, my mother told me the coming years would be the best of my life. The mother of four told French Vogue, and it's true. Only over the past 3 or 4 years have I gained this confidence. Before, I constantly needed to check with someone before making a decision, Kardashian continued. Can you imagine? It's crazy to rely on so much on others. And here comes the shady part. She writes, before I constantly needed to check with someone before making a decision. Can you imagine? It's crazy to rely so much on others, and others' opinions. Today, I know exactly what I want. It's exhilarating. I've always had a list of goals, like a list of things you want to do before you die. Magazine covers are definitely one of them. And this one has always been on the top of my list. The fact that it happened, it's crazy for me. It's so special. All right, so let's talk about this, because there is absolutely no, there's no, what is that word called? Today I am missing my words, girl. I feel like, oh, what is that word called? There's no doubt in my mind that tells me that Kanye West is not the most controlling mother effer around. I feel like, we've heard this in the past where, he has expressed to Kim that allegedly in the past, well, she's talked about this, that her style was horrible. And, we've seen in the Keeping Up with the Kardashian episodes of that time that he is very much in control. And, he has his stylist come in, choosing what she's gonna wear. He like pre-approves everything on the rack. So then Kim comes in and, sees what she likes, and then she'll say, okay, maybe I'll try this one. And it's already been pre-approved from him. We can see it in Bianca Censori, girl. We can see it in his new wife. I mean, she is like a walking, confused looking mannequin, bitch. She looks so fucking miserable. I mean, she looks like me on day 2 of the keto diet. Just like fucking miserable, lost, lethargic, and just a mess. And, this, I will say this, I think that the control that Kanye had over Kim and things as simple as clothing can definitely be a trigger. I'm going to tell you guys, I'm going to open up a little bit. I dated an older man when I should not have been dating him. I had no business running around with older men. I was of legal age, but he was a lot older. And I remember it got to the point where he was kind of going from boyfriend to dad. And I never had a dad growing up, so it was very difficult for me. And we started getting into this very weird dynamic where, he would make comments like, oh, if I weren't around, where would you be? Or, oh, and then he would make, he would do these crazy comments, and I would be like, wait a minute, like, you really are acting like my father, and I cannot sit here and do things with my freaking father, you know what I mean? And it came to the point where he was like being very possessive over my friend. friends. He was being possessive over what I would wear. He would be possessive over who I would talk to, where I would go. And to this day, like reading something about Kim saying like, can you imagine me having to count on somebody or to rely on somebody or, check in on somebody before making any decisions? That completely takes me back because I could not make one decision without asking him, without being present in his, wanting, because I needed his approval. And I just remember asking him the simplest things, like, should I go there? Should I stay here? Should I do this? Should I do that? Should I call this person? And I became so incredibly like, dependent on him. And, when we finally broke up, I left in the middle of the night. I packed my shit and I just fucking left because I said, this is not healthy. My mom and my stepdad helped pack when he was out and we left. And it's traumatizing to be in a relationship like that. And there's nothing wrong with being in a relationship with somebody who is more dominant. I kind of like that. In my husband and I life, he is more of like the one who handles the bills and he is the one who does the taxes. And and then I'll do other things. Like we kind of balance each other out very well. But it's not to the point where it's like, oh, you have to. No, I mean, we have conversations about decisions. But with that person I was with, there was no conversations. It was like, okay, so you're going to do this and you're going to do that. And I'm like, okay, you know what I mean? So I'm just very happy that Kim is out of that relationship. And if you're in a relationship like that, there's nothing wrong, again, with one being the more dominant one in the relationship. But if you see yourself not being able to make any decision without the opinion of your partner, that is a situation. I, of course, when I have big decisions to make, I will, of course, talk to my husband and we will plan it out together and he'll help me see a different side of it. But, day-to-day things, I'm able to make my own decisions. But I don't think that Kanye has that in his relationships. I think that everything has to go by Kanye. So that's fucking scary. I do think that Kanye West has a lot to do with that. So, I'm very happy that Kim got away from him, especially after watching the new documentary and how he, treated her and her family. I understand that he has bipolar and he decided to stay off the meds because he felt like that would alter him, and his mind and his thoughts and everything. He was scared to take them. But you know what? That's his decision, and her decision was to have a safe and calm household and environment for her and her children. Therefore, she left him. And quite frankly, you know what? I believe that you are supposed to do with your life what you want. I believe in medication. I believe it's a blessing because I've seen what it does to people. I've had people in my life who've had bipolar, who've taken medication, and who say that it has changed their whole lives. I've seen, celebrities like Selena Gomez, Demi Lovato talk about it and how it's changed their life. And so I do think that it is important for people to understand that instead of saying, oh, Kim should have stayed by his side, they have children. They have children all under 10 years old, So I don't think that was an option. Had he tried to maybe get help, get medication, or do things that could easily maybe improve the situation, then I do think that, maybe they could have worked out. But I don't think that he created a safe environment. And again, I understand and I'm sympathetic over mental health, but I don't know. I think that living with him must have been very difficult for Kim, and I'm very, very worried about Bianca Censuri. I mean, they've already threatened to be divorced once or twice before. Supposedly, she's already left him a couple of times, so I think it's just a matter of time until she says bye, bye, bye. Listen, say what you want about Kim, but she's out here making her dreams come true. She took over the New York City Library today, best friend, to shoot a new Skims campaign with her sister Chloe and her mother Chris. These are some of the images and the videos. I mean, it is absolutely so crazy everything that Kim has accomplished, and Skims is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I think that a lot of people don't like the Kardashians, and I know that they say so many things about them, and I know that maybe they're not, the most liked or whatever, but one thing about the Kardashians that I admire is their way of always reinventing themselves and also getting a lot of of respect from the industry. I mean, you know, they really do, especially Kim with Skims. Like, Skims has changed and altered the damn fucking world. It is worth like almost $2 billion, and she's not stopping anytime soon. So say what you want about Kim and them, but they very much squeeze a lemon of their 15 minutes of fame with their reality show. So what do you all think about this? Let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear from you guys. I'm so grateful and thankful for each and every one of you. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.